Alright guys, good morning. As you can already tell in the description of the video, this is the Ruger PC Carbine. I really didn't want to do a review on this gun, but I want to be able to compare this one to the one that is hopefully going to replace this gun. If you have followed these guns, there are plenty of videos on YouTube now about these things, so I'm not going to do a review on this one. I don't want to do a review on it. I think it's very unfair to do a review on this firearm at the moment for the fact of the problems I have with it. This is more or less, I think maybe only the third video I've seen on this firearm that is not very good. So, like you all know, these things are chambered 9mm, which is pretty awesome. They're a takedown rifle, just like they're a takedown model, just like the 1022. I have my barrel nut so tight that I can't get it off right now to show you guys, which doesn't matter because when my replacement rifle comes in, we're going to do the actual review. But before we start getting into this gun, I did forget to do this. The gun is unloaded. Magazine's right here. You see my finger? Okay. Always check before you play. Okay. We're not going to get into a whole lot about this thing. I was really excited about it. I still am very excited about it, as long as I can get it fixed. The only thing that, I'm not a semi-automatic guy. I like bolt actions. I would love to see, what I really love to see is Ruger come out with this in the 77 Hawkeye, which more or less isn't going to happen. So the next best thing in my world would be to produce this rifle in the Ruger American line. I know that the 9mm would be a very good varmint rifle. I mean, it would probably be a really good deer rifle and a bolt action. It would probably be a really good deer. This would probably be a really good deer rifle if I can get some kind of accuracy out of it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the problems with this gun. The magazine, of all things, is actually really good. As of yesterday, I've now shot 1,050 rounds through this gun, trying to figure out what's wrong with it. And why have I shot that many rounds through it? Well, for one, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a break-in period thing. And then most of the times when I was shooting it, it was as soon as I got off work before I went to bed. Okay, so I wanted to make sure, without a doubt, 100%, it was not me. It wasn't, maybe I got home and, you know, I'm tired. I wanted to make sure I'm not down at the meta shooting and I'm just having an off day. But I've shot it enough now that I can rule that out. Actually, one thing I do want to show you before we get into the accuracy problems that I've had. Yes, I did try with open sights. I'm not a peep sight guy, not really a big ghost ring guy, but these are pretty awesome. These ghost rings, these rear sights are actually pretty good. I mean, I do like these. These impress me. These might be a game changer for me a little bit. The only thing that I could see that would improve these is on the back side of it, if it, which I'm sure you can get them. But if it had like two little white dots on the side and there was like a little white dot on the top of the front blade, I would think that would help be able to line it up a little better, but I'm not going to complain about that. I did put a red dot on top of it. I put a Leopold LCO on it. That's what their commercial, you know, that's what Ruger's little commercial the gun has on it during that. So I bought one of those and put it on there, and I wasn't impressed with it, so it went back. But here's the thing that's actually going to be informational to you guys. You want to put a 39x40 on it. this has your rear sight's got to come off no matter which way you do it, unless you buy a really short, carbine scope. If you put I put Leopold Rifleman 3.9x40 on it, low set weaver rings. This whole post has got to come off, and the way that you do this, okay, you see this screw up here at the front of the blade, at the front of the rear sight. Okay, that one adjusts your rear sight, left and right. There's one right back here, okay, right behind the rear sight. That is the one you want to loosen it up. Don't take it out, just loosen it up. You slide the whole thing down and off. Just set it to the side, do your thing, okay. And then what you're left with is this platform that the sight sets on. There's a Torx screw. It's a T10 Torx. There's one right there, and then there's one right underneath this sight post. You want to take both of those out, and this whole platform will come off, and it'll give you the clearance you need for a 3 to 9x40 scope. Any of you all that have a Hawkeye, the Ruger 77s, your scope rings that come with the gun and your little Allen key is a T10 Torx. So if you don't have one laying in your toolbox or whatever, but you have a 77 Hawkeye, that little Allen wrench to put your rings on is the same thing. That's something Ruger did that was pretty cool. Okay, they pretty much made it kind of universal here. Okay, so now we're going to get to the groups. This is where I'm having problems with this gun. I've done shot multiple brands. I've shot cheap stuff, I've shot good stuff, I've shot really expensive stuff. I mean, I started out, as soon as I bought this gun, I bought a box of the Federal aluminums, like the cheapest crap you can get, just to make sure that it'll even cycle it. I didn't find anything out of it that it didn't jam, not once. It didn't failure to feed. I never had any problems out of any rounds through this gun. Like I said, I shot the Federal aluminums, I've shot Sig Elites, I shot what are those dots, series dots or something like that. I shot Hornadies, I shot my G2 RIPs through it. I've shot multiple, actually, we'll get to that in a second. I shot Winchester White Box and I shot Winchester USAs through it. But let's, alright, so here's the very first, these are the best groups that I can get out of this gun. These are what I shot yesterday. This is at 25 yards with 3 9x40 Leopold on it. These are 4-shot groups. Okay, you'll see 3 holes, but I have 2 of them cut here. That would be a great group if that wasn't there. If all 4 of them were right here, that's not that bad. I would still nitpick the crap out of it and try to figure out what's going on. But with that one being there, we're off to a bad start. Alright, remember this is at 25 yards. So to me, at 25 yards, all these should be in this orange 1-inch sticker. Alright, so we got our second group shot. Gets worse. Alright. That's pretty bad, guys. That's very bad. That is very, very, very bad. These are at 25 yards. Alright. Here is the best group that I got out of this gun. By far, this is the best group I have ever got out of this gun. And this is at 25 yards. That is the best group out of the 1,050 rounds I have shot out of this gun. That is the best group I have gotten out of this gun, period. Alright, so those were 25 yards. And I thought, okay, let's go to the 50 yards. Which was quite an adventure. Alright, so these are my actual match cards. I did 3 group shots on these. That is my first group. 50 yards, same 3 9x40 rifleman scope. Alright, these are still 1-inch stickers. 50 yards, we should still be inside that sticker. Once we get out to like 75 and 100 yards, you know, I expect it to come out as, you know, I expect it not to be a 1-inch group. At 50 yards, it damn well better be a 1-inch group. Okay, so this one is the interesting one. Now, I did put times down in between all of my shots. What I was doing is I would shoot three group shots. I'd walk down, put a new target on it, take my time, make sure that the barrel was cool. I actually gave it about 10-15 minutes in between each card to make sure that this gun I'd take the barrel off, run a cloth down through it. It was clean each time. The barrel was cool. So there's none of this barrel's hot and your shots went off everywhere, okay? Here's my second group. Still a 4-shot group, but you only see 3. Or I'm sorry. We're not on the 25s anymore. Yeah. So this is my second group. You see it got worse. They're spreading out even more. Okay. This is the one that was actually, yeah, this is the one. Okay. This is the amazing one here. Still a 3-shot group. 50 yards, same 3.9x40. Okay. You only see 3 shots, or 2 shots. You flip the card over on the back. There's one here on the tape from where the tape was off the target, but holding it on to the backboard. Okay. That is horrible. Horrible at 50 yards. I can't shoot a groundhog at 50 yards with this gun. Alright, and then here's my last card that I shot. Okay, these are at 50 yards. Now, keep in mind this is with the scope. When I was trying it with open sights, I was trying it with open sights at 25 yards and I could not get a single shot on one of these cards. Only until I put a 3-9 on it could I actually dial it down to get that. And all this stuff I'm going to send back with the gun so they can pair their groups with my groups, stuff like that. I've done this before, so I know what to expect. Surprisingly enough, the best groups are these right here out of this gun since the day that I've had it. And you would think that maybe Hornady would be the great groups, the Remington UMCs would be great groups. Out of all of them, this right here is what shoots the best out of my gun. These were $5 for a box of 50. They're steel case hollow points. Winchesters, the cheapest crap you can buy at Walmart. These are cheaper than Federal aluminums. These are 115 grain. This is some light stuff, guys. I tried the heavier stuff and they were worse. So that's my little itty bitty rant on this gun. What we're going to do is I'm going to put all this stuff back in the box. I'm about to go to FedEx. Remington sent me a shipping label. So this gun's going back. And hopefully when I get this puppy back, we'll be able to do some shooting videos and an actual nice review. I am a Ruger guy. Most of y'all know that. But this gun is a flop. Okay. I think I know what's wrong with the gun. I've looked it over. I think I know what's wrong with it, but I want Ruger to look at it. So, and I want to see if what they say is close to what I am. I think the crown's bad on it. You can kind of see a little warping or like the crown looks funny. And when you look down inside the barrel, you can see machine marks inside of the rifling that I haven't seen in any other rifles that I've ever owned. So I'm thinking that it's just the barrel on this thing. The only other thing that I don't really like about this, I hate that they kind of use the 1022 trigger group because I'm not big on the 1022s. But you hear that? This trigger group is kind of janky. It's just kind of just sitting in there. It moves around. It makes weird noises, but I think they could have did a little better with that, but it'll be okay. So thank you all for sitting here and listening through my little rant, but that is, as of right now, that's my little review and the problems that I'm having with this gun. Hopefully it's not all of them. Hopefully it's just mine. So again, like always, you guys are awesome. I wanted to do a shooting video, guys, but I can't do a shooting video for you if this gun isn't worthy of doing one. I got a bunch of steel plates that we're going to do when this gun gets back. I've got some neat stuff this year that we're going to start shooting instead of just paper. We're still going to do accuracy stuff because you know that's what I do. But we'll do some steel targets and stuff like that. So like always, you guys are awesome. Like and subscribe. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. I'll get back to you. Until then, I do have another gun that we're going to do some shooting on. If this monsoon stops, we will take this one out and do a review on it because this one's awesome. It's a Kimber. And it's a rifle. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Thank you.